Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining B.J. Rains today is KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's Mike Prater. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame, weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Now, here's Mike Prater and B.J. Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, good morning. How we doing, Boise State fans? B.J. Rains here, Bronco Nation News Live. It's Thursday. We got Mike Prater with us, and we're bumping up the schedule a little bit. We got some media events and things going on down here in Texas for the Frisco Bowl this morning, so appreciate Mike Prater for jumping on an hour early. So we still got pretty good viewership here, but some of you are going to be watching this later because you're checking in at 9 and the show's already over. So I apologize for that. But Mike, it's Thursday. We got a lot going on with the bowl game and an offensive coordinator, and happy we were able to squeeze this in. We appreciate your time. Oh, you muted yourself there, Mike. Mike, you're muted. You're muted, Mike. Mike, you're muted.
Go.
There you go.
There you go. How about now?
You're good.
You're good now?
Yep.
Never a boring day on the Boise State football beat, BJ. All kinds of crazy stuff going on. So I wish I was down there in Frisco with you, but certainly big news here in Boise yesterday with the Bush Hamdan deal, and let's attack it. There's all kinds of different ways to attack this story.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your Wi-Fi is not great. We can see that's a little better there. We can hear you. That's a little choppy on the video, but we'll make it work for today. Yeah, we got plenty to talk about, and I guess the obvious one is that Bush Hamdan coming back as offensive coordinator. I think he was on a lot of people's wish list, Mike, or on some of the initial lists, but you look and saw that he was making $550,000 at Missouri as the quarterback's coach, and I think a lot of people probably just immediately took him off the list because of that. I mean, not very often someone's going to go for, willingly take a pay cut from $550,000 down to $400,000, but the opportunity to come back and coach at Boise State at his alma mater and have a chance to maybe elevate his career, I guess, by working with Talon Green in this offense in the next couple of years. Interesting to say the least that he would take that kind of pay cut to want to come back. But Bush Hamdan, they get their man.
I certainly want to know why, because you're right. I mean, the cost of living, I don't know what it's like to live in Columbia, but it can't be better than Boise. So, maybe I don't know if that's a wash or a little bit of an advantage Boise in terms of that. The loss of $150,000, I'd like to ask him, in terms of what he wants to do with his career, where he's going. It sounded like he had a chance to be the play caller at Missouri in the bowl game, and then moving forward, they liked what he was doing there. People in Seattle aren't really happy that Bush Hamdan. They're fairly happy that he's no longer with that program, but it seemed like the reaction in Missouri yesterday was a little bummed that this guy who came in for 2 games at the end of the season and showed some spark in this offense is leaving. Why is he leaving? That's a great question. Why did Andy Avalos hire him? I think we could debate that pretty well. I think there's a lot of good things there, probably a couple of red flags as well.
Well, if Missouri goes 7-5 next year, Eli Drinkwitz could be in trouble. So I could see that being something where maybe the job security line. I know he just signed a 6-year contract, but there's a lot of folks at Mizzou saying if he goes 7-5 again, he could be in trouble. So maybe he's looking for a little more stability. I don't know. You're right, though. The last 3 games of the season against Tennessee, New Mexico State, and Arkansas, he kind of quietly took over as the play caller, and they went from 23 points a game to 33 points a game. Was playing a lot more to the quarterback's strengths in the running game and some other areas that. And so, yeah, a lot of fans and folks that I know were a little disappointed for this. And so, it wasn't for sure, but now this means maybe either Eli Drinkwitz wasn't going to give him the full-time OC or what, was going to pick somebody else, I guess. If Bush is leaving, he must have known that he wasn't going to get the full-time OC gig at Missouri. Or like I said, maybe he thinks that only a year from now he could be looking for a job if he didn't take this. I don't know. So, but yeah, 550 down to 400. But it also on the flip end, Mike, as you know, it was 280 that Tim Plow was making, and that goes up to 400 now. For the salary for the offensive coordinator position. Andy Avalos had talked about wanting to raise this up. And, I was talking to Tuss the other day, and Tuss is like thinking, it might be 340, 350. I said, if Andy Avalos is talking like this, it's got to have a 4 in front of that first number for it to be a significant jump. And sure enough, they go from 280 to 400,000, 425,000 in the second year. And this will be the largest contract ever dished out for a non-head coach in Boise State athletics history, I guess, for an assistant coach. I guess Jeremiah Dickey makes a little more than that. But, in terms of the assistant coaches in any sport, no one's had a higher contract, 400,000. So what do you make of the commitment Boise State was able to make to Bush?
I'm old enough, BJ, to remember when head coaches at Boise State weren't even making that much. Dan Hawkins, when he took this job, I think they gave him somewhere around that kind of money. He gave half of it back so we could go out and find some assistants, and the whole world was like, "Are you really?" I mean, it's amazing how far it's come, and I'm 1,000% on board with you. When we met with Andy Avalos in his press conference on Monday, he brought that up ad nauseum a couple of times in terms of the commitment and the resources, night and day. He used these phrases 2 or 3 different times, so you knew it had to be significant. And it's almost like the NFL quarterback. Who's the highest paid NFL quarterback? Well, who's next? Spencer Danielson is probably next. If indeed Boise State can keep Spencer Danielson, and that's not a given by any chance, he's going to have to be a $400,000 man as well. I believe they're going to have to give him that kind of raise. He's done that kind of job. He's put in that kind of time. And if you want to keep him a $400,000 commitment, and I think he's right around, is he right around 330 or where is he? He's somewhere in that neighborhood, right?
Yeah, I have to look that up, but I think he's over 300. Yeah.
So I think he's right around there. So I think Spencer Danielson needs to be a $400,000 guy. And we know that Keith Bonaparte has to have a $200,000 raise. So, there's $500,000 beyond the floor of the salary pool that they've come up with. That's the significant income. That's the significant changes that Andy Avalos is talking about when he's talking about Jeremiah Dickey giving him more cash.
Yeah, 290,000 was this year's, and I believe there's a slight raise maybe for next year. So, but I was, we got somebody on here. I love you, Kurt, but he says nice hire, but not the splash I was looking for. They weren't getting Chris Peterson, guys. They weren't getting Brian Harsin. They weren't getting Kellen Moore to come back, Mike. It just seemed like some of the expectations were a little too high from some of the fan base on what they were going to be able to bring in, And so to me, I mean, were you going to get a Scott Frost? Were you going to get a Mark Helfrich? Is that a splashier name? Is Kirby Moore a splashier name than someone that has a decade experience already at the Power 5 level, coaching quarterbacks, in the NFL? So I know there's, the trolls are going to troll, Mike. People are not going to like it no matter who it is, and I get that. There was a little bit of negativity yesterday with some, but when you look and see, it's the typical same 4 or 5 that are always ripping on Jeremiah Dickey and ripping on the program. So I think by and large, most people like this, but you're right. There were a couple people that said, he's falling backwards and things like that. And that he's, but they wanted what do you make of the folks that wanted a quote splashier hire?
There was no such thing as a splashy hire. He just threw out some big names, none of which were realistic. And I know that's the point you were trying to make. Even some of the ones that could have been realistic, the Scott Frost, the Mark Helfrich, Marcus Arroyo, those kinds of names, they all came with warts and baggage, every single one of them. That's why they're in a position to become Boise State's offensive coordinator. That's why they're throwing their names out there. Come on, guys, be realistic. There was no home run hire. There was no splashy hire. Kirby Moore would have come with some warts. And I don't think Kirby Moore has any interest in coming to Boise State as the offensive coordinator. I think he wants to be the head football coach at Fresno State or somewhere else. So just because it's got the fancy last name doesn't mean it's got that sex appeal. So I think Bush Hamdan, and I'm not going to sit here and say he's the greatest hire. I thought it was a good hire. I wish I'd have thought of him more. Certainly he was on my list in terms of guys that could come here. But
I just didn't think the salary. I didn't think they'd be able to meet your salary, right?
Exactly. That was the big part of it. But you know what? They found the perfect connection of guys on the rise, guys with in the family, kind of out of the family. He hasn't been at Boise State in 14 years, but he's certainly a Boise State family member. So I think it checks a lot of boxes, a ton of boxes, more than anybody else could have done. I think it's a good hire. Let's see how it plays out, but I think it's a good hire.
I want to thank a couple of our sponsors here. We're down in Texas broadcasting the mobile Cutwater Canned Cocktail Studios. Make sure you check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsors, doing an interior painting special right now. Anywhere in the Treasure Valley, BNN 15 gets you 15% off. That's right. Use the promo code BNN 15. You get 15% off your interior painting of your home this winter. So help keep their workers feeding their families and working this winter. And if you're thinking about that project to paint the inside of your home, go for it with rowpaint.com. LithiaFordofBoise.com. You can check their full inventory of vehicles on their website. You can compare and then head on into their Fairview location, test drive, and be on your way. We're appreciative and thankful for Lithia Ford of Boise, Idaho Central Credit Union as well, ICCU.com. Check them out. More than 500,000 Idahoans have made the switch to ICCU, and you can as well with a quick visit to ICCU.com. I've said it before, but the mobile online e-branch banking is just so easy to use, and we're so thankful we made the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union. If you're looking for a job, how about transcomservice.com? They can help you become a truck driver in no time, whether it's the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, whether it's that truck on the screen there. If you're looking to get into the trucking industry, let transcomservice.com help you every step of the way. And our final major sponsor, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. You can get free shipping any order over $40. So if you're looking for that last-minute holiday gift, the blueandorangestore.com has you covered with all the Boise State gear. And you can head on into the Boise Town Square Mall there on the second floor and check them out in person there next to Pro Image. We got some other comments coming in. Folks are already talking about the revenge game, Mike Prater. First game as OC for Mr. Bush Hamdan is back at Washington next year.
I saw that. I knew that. I heard that. That's always interesting. There's always these beautiful subplots. So I cannot wait for that. I don't know if it's a revenge game. We'll talk about it, and we'll certainly pump up that storyline a little bit. But yeah, that'll be a good one.
Somebody's calling Mike Prater. Rudy says Mike Prater, the voice of reason.
There's no truth to that. There's no truth to that. Here's the one thing that I did want to bring up that I was thinking about this morning as I got up. And the one thing I want to debate moving forward that I don't know if this Bush Hamdan, is he here? Is he a rental OC for 1 or 2 years to take care of Taylor Green? Or could he be here for 3 to 5? Well, here's the problem. You're probably right. As long as he's here for 2 years, as long as he's here for 2 years during the Taylor Green area, that's really all I care about. But there was a 13-year period. Think about this for a second. There was a 13-year period where there were 4 men in charge of Boise State's offense: Dirk Cutter, Dan Hawkins, Chris Peterson, and Brian Harsin. For 13 years, those 4 guys. When Bush Hamdan becomes the offensive coordinator next season, that'll be the next 13 years. In those 13 years, there's been 10 different offensive coordinators. 10 different offensive coordinators in 13 years. That position needs to have some kind of stability. And I'm not sure if it's Bush Hamdan. And you're right. I really don't care if it's Bush Hamdan as long as he stays for 2 years. Give me 2 years. Give me the Taylor Green era, and we're okay. But eventually, Boise State's going to have to get an offensive coordinator that comes in here and sticks around for 3 to 5 years. This circling, revolving door of offensive coordinators is not good, BJ. It's not a good look for the program.
And that is one of the things the detractors right now are pointing to about this hire, about Bush Hamdan. They say, oh, he's just going to leave, in a couple of years. But for me, if he's able to leave for a better job, that means your offense was probably pretty darn good. So, yeah, you'd like at least the 2 years for Taylor Green, but I don't have a problem if he's using this as a couple-year thing to find something else, because that probably means he had a pretty good offense these 2 years. But you did have Chris saying, I think you can only keep Miley or Spencer Danielson, not both. We know that Keith Bonifaz's salary is going up $200,000 as well this year, Mike. You mentioned Danielson probably needs a big raise. Miley almost went to Washington last year, so who knows if he's even going to be here next year if he gets a big offer. But what do you make about also needing to up the ante for Miley and Danielson? Do you think they can keep them both? Chris says.
I do. It sounds like, it looks like we know for a fact that Jeremiah Dickey's giving them some kind of resources. How endless is that pool? We don't know. And don't forget, guys, the bottom half of this coaching staff is in really, really bad shape in terms of experience. I mean, Jabril Frazier could replace Kelly Poppinga. Poppinga was making $200,000-$300,000 as well. They could pay Jabril Frazier $125,000, and he'd be the happiest guy in the world to come in and be the new edge coach, taking care of 3 or 4 guys and just kind of climbing his ladder. You know, you got an offensive line coach with a Big Sky experience. You got a cornerbacks coach with Big Sky experience. You got a wide receivers coach who, you know, I'm not sure how he feels. I mean, everybody wanted kind of Matt Miller. So where's Matt Miller's head right now? Does he need a bump in pay? Does he need any kind of special, kind of special titles? So there's a lot to be done here. There's some flexibility at the bottom, and hopefully Jeremiah Dickey's giving them the resources at the top. I think they'll figure it out. But yeah, I would suspect either Spencer Danielson or Frank Miley are gone just by the nature of the business. Period. Just by the nature of the business.
Well, I do want to send a tease out. We're in Frisco, Mike, and we got a lot going on down here. And Colin Mitchell, our part-time employee, is coming down today. And we've got a couple interviews set up. Franklin Johnson, Little Elm High School, one of the commits, and Breezy Dubar at Anna High School, 2 commits for Boise State that fans are excited about. I know Breezy Dubar, folks are a little nervous about his level of commitment heading into signing day next week. Both those guys go to school down here in the Frisco or North Texas area, and we're going to be going over to their high schools today to do 2 in-person interviews with those 2 guys today. Those will be subscriber-only interviews that we'll get up this evening. But Franklin Johnson, Breezy Dubar, we'll be catching up with them at their high schools. Just worked out nicely with 2 commits being in the area, and we're going to have both of those for you for subscribers coming up tonight. So if you want to jump in and subscribe, now's the perfect time. $70 gets you a whole year, gets you in the giveaway for the free private jet to Vegas. And we'd love to have you subscribe. I do want to play this quick video, Mike, and then talk about the bowl game real quick before we wrap it up. But had a chance yesterday to go to this foaling competition. Have you ever? I know you're a big outdoor yard games type guy. Have you ever been? Have you ever played foaling?
I have never heard of foaling, let alone ever played it, but I saw the video yesterday. Sign me up. Next time we have a party in your backyard, BJ, I want that set up.
Me and Bob were the only 2 media guys that are down here right now. And me and Bob went over to the foaling competition yesterday, and we had a chance to watch the championship. It was Boise State against North Texas, and it was a fun little competition. So here's a short video of Boise State down here in North Texas yesterday from Bronco Nation News.
It was good. It's good to have the guys out here having some fun during the bowl game. We got to compete against North Texas, which was really cool. Both teams surrounding each other's, side of the group, and great competition. Just got a little bit of a taste of what Saturday night's going to be like. So it was all around fun and a good time.
It looks fun, just trying to throw the ball, football and bowling at the same time. So, but yeah.
What'd you think of Jonah with the winning shot?
Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, Jonah was struggling, but it's all right. We stay in the fight, man. But it was fun to watch.
What's this experience like for you guys? You didn't get this the last couple of years to be able to have events like this and stuff and be able to have this bowl experience together.
Right, man. It's amazing. It's great, man. Just hanging out with the guys, just being around the guys a lot, and through these events of, the bowl game and just spending the last couple of times with the guys. So.
I think my only shot, I couldn't lob it. I feel like I was more accurate when I was trying to really throw the ball. So that was my strategy, is just to zing it in as fast as I could. And if it made good contact, then it's going to knock the pins over. Yeah, we're very competitive, so I don't know, it just came down to that situation when there was 1 pin left. It was my throw, and so I took my best shot, hit it right on the dot, and everybody went hype, so it was good. It was good.
And there they are, Mike, getting their championship footballs given to them for winning the foaling competition. You you had to have an offense, a defense, a special teams, and a coach. So they had DeAndre Pierce, JL Skinner, Taylon Green, and Jonah Dalmas, and they get the first dub of what they hope is multiple over North Texas this week.
Is Jonah Dalmas just the coolest dude ever? I mean, that guy's living his best life. He's living a charmed life. I want to be Jonah Dalmas. So that guy's such a cool dude. He might be turning into my favorite Boise State football player of all time.
What do you make, and how cool is it just to see that video? And, they missed the last 2 years. Mike didn't get a bowl experience. Some of these guys are in their third year in the program. This is their first time going to a bowl. I know that was a big thing. They've added in a Top Golf event today and some other things that on top of what the bowl's already doing for them. I want to give these players just a great experience down here. That's one of the nice side stories this week.
Yeah, not to mention yesterday and today practicing at the Star there in Frisco as well. As you know, the Dallas Cowboys hanging out down there at their big giant complex and practice facility. I saw some quick video of that yesterday. That's got to be fairly inspiring. They go back there today. I'm not sure if they've had a chance to meet or hang out or shake some hands with Kellen Moore, Leighton Vander Esch, and some of the other guys. So I think so far it seems like it's a pretty cool experience. They're down there having fun. You could have put this football team in any bowl game and they would be happy just to be playing. So it's been so crazy, so bizarre. I still have this anxious feeling that something weird is going to happen. I don't know. Is there a crazy ice storm on the way or something weird? I don't know. Just keep your fingers crossed that they can actually kick this thing off Saturday night. But so far, so good. And just the experience and just going off and playing one of these games is all this program needs right now.
Everyone's freaking out here in Frisco because the game time temperature is going to be 40 degrees. And everyone's saying 40 degrees is so cold down here in Dallas and people might not show up and stuff. And I'm like, oh, they'll take 40 degrees in a heartbeat to play this game. So I did have one little small piece of news, Mike. I asked George Holani yesterday. Again, me and Bob were the only two media guys down there. And I had a chance to ask George Holani about his season. And I bluntly said, is Saturday your last game? Let's play a quick bite from George Holani and react to this real quick.
What's the season meant to you to be able to come back and be healthy for most of the season and get over 1,000 yards and kind of get back to what you did your freshman year?
I'll say it's a blessing. For me personally, just stay healthy and just do my job, do my 1/11th for the rest of this team. Because, the older guys, the seniors, coaches, this team, we deserve a lot. And I would say, it's a blessing for me just to be healthy and just be around there.
Saturday, your last game?
I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure after that game, I'm gonna make my decision. So yeah.
Did you do what last year you even thought about going and stuff. Did you do what you wanted to do this year coming back? Like I said, staying healthy, putting up what you did. Did you accomplish what you wanted to this season?
Yes, sir, for sure. It's a blessing for me just to be healthy and just be around there.
Saturday, your last game?
I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure after that game, I'm gonna make my decision. So
the awkward pause where he getting this smile. I don't know how much more bluntly I could have asked it. I kind of put him on the spot there. But what do you make of the response there? I'm on the camp that this is his last game. I'm not sure he gets drafted, but I don't know what coming back another year would really do for him. He's had the injury past. I believe George Holani's done, and I believe he knows that, and that pause was kind of part of that. But what'd you take from that?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you wholeheartedly. And when you ask him, maybe the more telling question and the more telling answer was, did you accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish this year? And he adamantly said, yeah. So I think he's happy with the performance that he put in, happy that he's been mostly healthy, happy with his role on this football team. So as long as he can stay healthy on Saturday, get through the game, do his job, win a football game, pat some guys on the back, I would expect he's gone as well. Boise State's not going to stop him. They've got a future in that position. His age is certainly playing a role. I'm 100% agreeing with you. I don't think he's going to get drafted. He'll end up in a camp. He'll end up with a shot. He might end up on a practice squad and maybe work his way up from there. But I don't see him coming back and getting any better than he is right now. I think the whole George Holani experience, we've seen it. We've experienced it. We know what it's like. And there's really nothing to gain at this point.
Hey, if you're looking for a new dentist, check out BoiseDentistryCo.com. They got locations across the Treasure Valley. Full family dentistry. They do a tremendous job. And appreciative of Dr. Miner to have taken care of my kids' teeth and my teeth as well. So check them out. BoiseDentistryCo.com. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They can make business insurance easy. If you're looking to lower your business insurance rates, give them a quick call, 229-8222. They can write policies in 44 states around the country, but they're trying to bulk up their Treasure Valley contracts here. So check them out. Quick call could save you hundreds of dollars and make business insurance easy at United Commercial Insurance. Ridley's Family Market, shopridleys.com. 13 Idaho locations. They make the shopping experience so easy with the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all the newest technology. So find a location near you at shopridleys.com. And Matt Boucher Real Estate, we're going to pick back up the weekly Matt Boucher shows once conference play gets going. We got some schedule conflicts with both of us, but early January we'll start up with the weekly Matt Boucher shows. Number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small. Let Matt Boucher and his staff take care of you. BoucherRealEstate.com. And of course, PlayTimberstone.com. I know it's crappy weather and it's snowing and cold, but they got the indoor simulator. The TrackMan, Tad Holloway is still doing his lessons out there. They can fit you for new clubs for next year. So a lot still going on at Timberstone. Head on out there and you can find out more information. Book a indoor tee time. PlayTimberstone.com. Mike, we only got another minute or two. I got to get to a charity event where some of the players are going to be, and I wish I could say something that I'll just say this. We were not allowed to film guys that had casts or slings on yesterday at the bowling thing. So if you want to do deductive reasoning within the videos, maybe you can, but they're usually the charity event is where you get some guys that aren't going to be playing and they're available. It's like a Markel Reed that's out for the season, or maybe somebody else. We'll see who's available at the charity events. There may be some news today on that front. Got the charity event today, so I'm going to talk to some guys. We're going to those high schools. So Bronco Nation News has a lot going on today, but just we're like 57 hours or whatever away from kickoff, Mike, and this is my last chance to talk to you before the game and the final go here for the season. What's just your take on this matchup and your thoughts heading into the game on Saturday?
Bowl games are all about motivation. I think this football team is highly motivated. It's 10 times better skilled than North Texas. I think it's going to be a flat environment. There's not going to be any crowd. You just told me it's going to be cold. North Texas fans don't even go to North Texas football games. So I think this is a big Boise State show. I think the spread's 10, 11 points, something like that. Boise State wins this sucker by 2 touchdowns, gets out of town, gets fairly safe, and just gets on the next year.
And the bowl director or the media guy was telling me and Bob yesterday, they're thinking about 15,000 fans, which doesn't sound great, but the stadium only seats about 20,000. They are going to have the end zones tarped off, I guess. So both the sides should be fairly full, according to them, at least within tickets they distributed. But they could be talking up a game. Who knows? We'll see. But the stadium is right outside my window here of the hotel. It's a nice little MLS stadium for FC Dallas or whatever the Dallas MLS team is. And so should be a fun little environment and looking forward to the game. And, we'll see on Saturday. We got the press conference tomorrow. But as I said, we got some interviews with some commits and going to the charity thing here today. So I know you guys will have full coverage with Bob. Bob's down here as well, too, for the ticket, 95.3. You guys will check in with Bob and get some of the latest stuff 3 to 6 with you and Johnny and JP, and then I'll join you guys tomorrow afternoon, and we'll keep getting closer to this game on Saturday. So appreciate your time, and again for moving the. I don't want to tell you this, Mike. You may not want to hear this, but the viewership was better today than doing it at 9. So I don't know if that's a bad sign. We may have to talk about moving forward or not. But we had great viewership, and folks I'm sure will watch later as well, and looking forward to the game, and then transitioning into signing day and basketball season full time next week. But we appreciate it, sir.
Safe travels. Enjoy the trip, and see you next week, buddy.
There he is, Mike Prater. You can listen 3 to 6 today with him and Johnny and JP. And again, we're heading out to get some charity, the charity event, and see what players are available there. And then heading to get some of the football commits. So if you're not a subscriber, we got Breezy Dubar and some of these commits. They're going to be only for subscribers tonight. So now's the perfect time to jump in if you want some of the exclusive recruiting coverage down here in Texas. And again, the grand prize, if you sign up for a $70 subscription, you can enter a raffle for a ton of great prizes. And the grand prize is a trip for 2 on a private jet to the basketball game in Las Vegas on January 11th. You get to stay at Circa Resort and Casino as well, and check that out. So make sure you go subscribe, $70 one-time fee, and get yourself ready, because we are going to have some exclusive coverage with some recruits coming later tonight to Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. And also another quick reminder, make sure you sign up for Playback. Winston and Johnny are going to do that game on Saturday, the second quarter of the bowl game. Johnny and Winston are going to be hanging out in the second quarter of that bowl game. So you just have to go to playback.tv/Bronco Nation News. Playback twitch.tv/Bronco Nation News. Authenticate your cable provider. Take 30 seconds, create a free username, and then you can watch the Boise State game on Saturday in there in our watch party with other Boise State fans. There's a live chat going. You guys can hang out in there. And then during the second quarter, Winston Venable will jump in kind of like the Manning cast and provide his analysis, his video of himself and Johnny on there, and it'll kind of be like the Manning cast. So looking forward to that on Saturday. So tons of coverage coming. If you're watching on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to build up the channel. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. And yeah, Bronco Nation News, KTIK, to this point, the only media outlets down here covering all these events and stuff. So hoping to bring you some good coverage, and looking forward to talking to Breezy Dubar and Franklin Johnson and some of these recruits as well in person at their high schools. Looking forward to checking out Texas high school football and seeing what it's all about this afternoon. And again, subscribe, $70, one-time fee. You get all the exclusive interviews, and you get to help fund our road trips and things like this, and make it happen, and then be able to see those interviews and win some cool prizes as well. We got a snowboard we're giving away. We got a golf bag. We got a lot of cool stuff, some giveaways from the Blue and Orange store, and then the grand prize, as I said, a private jet for two to head to Las Vegas in January. So thanks for checking us out, and be staying tuned to the channel. Go on YouTube, by the way. I put the whole George Holani interview up. I put the Zeke Noah interview and the Jonah Dalmas interview. So all three interviews from yesterday, as well as the Andy Avalos press conference about Bush Hamdan, are all on our YouTube channel. You can go check those out on YouTube and watch those videos there as well. So we'll talk to you later this afternoon, maybe sooner on my Twitter account with some of the stuff from the charity event. But have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.